What's up, family? How you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? Why do I be making jingles? I have no idea why I do that. But that was cute. How are you doing? How are you doing? How are you doing? That was cute. We'll build on that later. We'll build on it later. Good afternoon, everybody. Good to see y'all up in here. It's so gorgeous out here. I know the seasons is changing, child. It's getting colder, but I'm gonna hold on to my little mid-drifts, child. You know, mama gotta still represent for the rent, okay? But anyway, I want to just get everybody in here. I want to talk about something that was so dear to me, and it's about spiritual crowd surfing and letting go. Because on your path of greatness and journey, and when you're trying to do anything, there is a point where you have to make a decision and you have to jump and let go. But in my particular experience, I remember back in 2010, I was going through a lot of shit with the flight attendant industry. I was completely depressed. I was taking a lot of antidepressants. I had a really bad drinking habit at the time, and I even had a little nasty coke habit that I had picked up for about 2 months. And that was another thing I found out about aviation, is that a lot of people do coke more than you'd even want to think about. And so I got into that too. But I remember a girlfriend of mine, she took me to a Christmas party, and I met this African guy, right? And he was Yoruba, and we started dating. Long story short, it was so many things I was struggling with at the time, and I wasn't paying my bills because I didn't want to go to work. I was extremely, when I tell y'all I was depressed, like my stomach would turn at the thought of them calling me for a flight. You know, that's just how bad it was. So he kind of came in and took care of a lot of my needs, and it's interesting the way that happens. And I'm not trying to make it some, fantasy story, but if I have to be honest, it was the quintessential African king, prince, or whatever, or knight in shining armor. And he really was a friend to me also. He really was a friend to me. But it just makes me think about how just this path I was on, I would have never imagined being in this place from that place, because that girl was completely confused, bright, brilliant, but sad. And I've always heard that phrase, God works through people, and I know it for a fact now, because when I jumped out to do my thing in 2011, I just saw all types of people along the way that helped me. I'm telling you, when I really made up my mind that I wasn't going to be a flight attendant anymore, and I said, when I get back to Atlanta, and I drove my little Mercedes, a little vintage Mercedes that the African man even gifted to me, because I had this little Ford Focus, and it kept overheating on me, and I had no idea what to do with it. So he fixed cars, but he specialized in foreign auto. So he let me drive this cool little vintage Mercedes while he was fixing my car. But I drove it for so long, I was like, oh my God, I really like this car. So I remember telling him, I was like, hey baby, I kind of like this car, just have that one, just keep the Ford Focus, and let me have the Mercedes. And he actually was like, baby, that's no problem, come down here to the shop. And he signed it right over to me. And that was the end of my situation with that. But fast forward, I got picked up by a private charter company to be a flight attendant, and we had to train for a long time in Las Vegas. So after I left training and passed training, I was based in Charlotte. I hated Charlotte so much. Coming from Atlanta to Charlotte, whoever made up that lie about Charlotte is the next Atlanta, baby, they lied. But me and Charlotte, it just was not right, wasn't sitting right. I had a little boyfriend and everything too. He was a little Morehouse dude. But he was actually atheist, so we eventually had a really dramatic chapter end for our relationship that, whoo, child, everything about Charlotte's chapter closed for me dramatically. And I remember kind of saying a prayer when I made up my mind to leave that place, and my little Mercedes had ball tires, and I remember driving across I-85, and I said, if my ball tires can get to Georgia, I promise when I get to Georgia, I'm going to do the goddamn thing. I'm not going to be afraid anymore, because I knew I couldn't go back to being a flight attendant. Like, it just made me sick to think of actually spending another 10 years in that industry. I couldn't even stomach the thought. So, and before, you know, I even got to that point, the reason I was leaving Charlotte was because they were closing the base. And I found out on the bus. I was going to Birmingham for a funeral, it just so happens, and I just was dreading having to go back to work to Charlotte. And I made up my mind. I said, you know what? I don't want to ever go back to Charlotte again to work. They're going to have to fly me from Atlanta. I'm going to have to figure something out, you know. So while I really made that decision, I got a phone call that said, you know, they closed the Charlotte base and they're about to give us severance and unemployment. I was like, wow. And I knew at that moment that was my chance to get out for good. And I took my $250 a week. I crashed on a friend's couch. I made this leap out, and it was a brother. He was about 50-some years old and born and raised in Atlanta, and he was always a real true friend to me. Never was anything crazy. And I just remember making that decision and parking my car at his place, and he let me crash on his couch, and then I'm getting online, meeting other people that was giving me business ideas and things that I could do. Another brother, this Sag brother, you know, come in the picture and tell me about Fiverr.com. And he was a graphic designer, and he had a major business operation, and still does, in Beaufort, Georgia. But this guy was like in his 30s. He was like my age. So we ended up being friends, but he ended up being the game changer for my business. He told me about 2 websites, Fiverr.com and Freelancer.com, where you can bring your business overnight, and it introduced me to the power of outsourcing immediately. And I was like, oh my God, this is how companies are branding themselves overnight. You don't have to worry and struggle, and anything you don't know how to do, you can just pay somebody. But not only that, you can pay somebody $5 to do it. Oh my God. So that concept was given to me of outsourcing back in 2011, and I had made an ebook, The Top 12 Signs You're Dating a Psycho Stalker. So that's only what I wanted to do. I thought I was just gonna make a little ebook, whatever. Turns out I got on, you know, ABC in Alabama, did a little radio station, or not radio station, but TV interview, 2 TV interviews in Alabama, and my friend drove me to Atlanta and all this. But I hope you guys will hear what I'm saying, because all I could think about is all the true black folks that have been carrying me since I jumped out. The whole way. And I'm sleeping on the couch, taking this small unemployment, putting it back into my business. You know, I'm going through depression still, and just like, I know I'm gonna do it, doing my little manifestation rituals at night, my little law of attraction, get my little vision board, because I knew, my mom told me that if I just got quiet and went in my mind, that I could manifest anything I wanted. And I knew that, and I kept that in my most darkest periods of my life to kind of get myself out again. Even when I was in rehab, and I've talked about this a lot, going through that emotional depression and that depressive state that I was in rehab, I was sitting on my little bed with my other roommate. They gave us a few minutes a day to write in our journals, and I remember sitting in these little oversized underwear they gave us, and I was writing, because I knew that's all I needed was a pen and a piece of paper. Just getting it together, figuring it out. So here we are today, and I'm thinking about all of the dozens of people, and black people at that have helped me since I decided to jump out. And it's like, people will carry you. And my folks are carrying me. So let me tell you this. So even when it comes to this book and my business, it's so many people behind the scenes and in the front of the scenes supporting my business like you. I got people and brothers behind the scenes that's helped me do stuff that I ain't never know how to do. Ever. Shout out to Andre Hatchett. This brother, he is responsible for this that I want to show you. Drum roll. It's here. What? That girl got that book. Oh, wait a minute. And I'm sitting up here looking at this like, is this my shit? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? That's your girl book? I mean, and Andre Hatchett. I don't know nothing about publishing nothing. I don't know nothing about that type of stuff. And he told me where to go, how to do it. I watched these videos he gave me to watch. Shout out to Tyron. He done helped me triple my sales with my book. This done been carrying me. Do you understand me, my family? This is supporting so many things. It's supporting you. It's supporting me. I done jumped out, and all of these invisible black folks, and visible, they done showed up. And I'm sitting up here really in disbelief right now, like, in the workbook in the back and everything. The workbook is trill, y'all. If y'all ready to go in, it goes in, honey. It goes in. Okay? Sex orgies, all types of stuff, where we get our stuff from, baby. Andre Hatchett. Andre Hatchett. That's the cover. You know, and it's real natural. And I said, you know, we have a revised copy online. And I want to tell you guys that too. That the revised copy, it has the herbal guide from A to Z in the back. So if you have that access to your ebook, you can go back on and use your passcode to get. You can get your herbal guide from A to Z. It's going to give you natural remedies from alfalfa A all the way down to doggone Uber Ursi, shoe, yellow dot, Y to Z. Okay? So I'm going to make sure I get you guys the paperback link. A couple of you guys already ordered yours, so they about to be going out this week. I got you, girl. I got you, Eunice. I got you, Hannah. A couple of y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. It's just like, my folks, that's why I have to cuss when people say, black folks don't support each other. All I see, I have a front row seat to the divine. God works through people. Your solutions are people-based. It's people. And the more expansion, these brothers behind the scenes, Derek, shout out to you, Derek, that's helped me. I mean, hell, he helped me do the darn thing online. All of the graphics that you see, it's because of him. He gave me one resource, and I took it and ran with it. When Sag men show up in my life, I know they game changers and stuff like that. I'm like, man, they always going to be dropping stuff on you to expand your shit. We're ruled by Jupiter. That's just what we do. But I just see these players, you know, as I jumped out, and y'all have been carrying me ever since. And I'm really in a state of disbelief right now. I'm just like, what? Your self-help resource to herbs for wound cleansing technique. Like, girl, you would never have a dirty twat again. Fuck with me. We done damn told you how to cure cancer. How to cure cancer. I mean, everything. They about the white population. How the white population is dying more now. From 1999 to 2014, the number of white births fell 8.4 to 2.1 million overall in the U.S. The white population is not replacing itself. It's not. It's not. It's so much in here, guys, and this is good too. Having a dating objective. That's a real good one too. But I just want to say thank you. I'm really humbled by my people, because this is a 100% black-owned production, bro. I mean, it's just like, yo, man, y'all have to see yourselves, man, because this is all of us. It's all of us. And it's so much love. It's like, can you not see the love? You know, look at yourselves. Look at this. This is how you guys show up. And I'm sitting up here not even trying to write no book or nothing like that. And I got a damn book. I mean, my dreams, they have my dreams come to reality. These people, these black men, these black women that stepped up and said, yeah, girl, every time you hit a love on my post, every time you share my shit, don't you understand that you saying, yeah, girl, I got you? Don't you know I'm spiritually crowd surfing on you? I put myself out there. I said, fuck it. I'm finna jump. Ploop. And guess who caught me? My folks. My folks. And you would not even imagine I'm the same girl that was crying my eyes out on a Delta flight because I thought I was going to kill myself. I had just broke up with my boyfriend, Craig. I was living in my cute little brownstone in D.C., between D.C. and Atlanta, and we broke up. I found out he was cheating on me. And then I had to call my mom and my brother. And I ain't even know how I was going to walk off that flight. I'm telling you. And every piece of music that they played, every song that they played on that flight, it almost made me cry. That's how sick I was to the stomach. And I just was convinced I was not going to live. And my mom and my brother, they had to meet me at Atlanta Hartsfield to pick me up. Because I told them, I was like, it is no way I want to live after this. I knew I didn't want to live. And they got me to the hospital. And it's like they had to shoot me with something to sedate me. You know, and it's like, I just would have never saw this. I went through so many suicidal episodes. really not want to live. Like, do not want to live at all. And it's like, people see you. They already see you. They like, keep going, you know. People let me sleep on their couch here and there and stuff while I was single and trying to replace my income. That type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Black folks. I did my first photo shoot in the Georgian Terrace Hotel, and me and my photographer, we snuck in there. And this was October 2011 when I did my first photo shoot as a matchmaker. And I remember all the black workers in that hotel, they were pointing out different areas I could go in, but they weren't saying nothing. They were posted up in different parts of that hotel, just kind of pointing in another spot, and I kind of caught on to what they were doing, so we kind of snuck around. But what was interesting is I didn't know we were about to get thrown out. So this little white gay manager comes up. Yes, this is actually $100 per hour if you want to shoot pictures here. You know, he threw us out. I was like, oh, okay, no problem. But we had already got our shots. But before we walked out, I sat on this beautiful plush velvet couch, and this old 80-something-year-old black man, he was kind of like the bellhop, and he was at the front, the door, the doors, the revolving doors, and he said, I got you. And he told me to kind of sit. I sat. He opened the revolving doors so the wind would blow my hair, and that was one of my best shots. It is like they were all saying yes. And I knew I needed to get back to Atlanta. I knew this was my center. That's all I've got since I've been here. It's like, these are black folks. They was like, yes. When I'm out running and working out, do you know how inspirational that is to other black people driving along? And they like blowing the horn saying, yeah, girl, I need to come out there with you. And I'm like, yeah, girl, come on. That's all that love, man. We are so much more loving and supportive than we give ourselves credit for. And all I saw was these regular from around the way black folks. And even the niggas in the hood, I'm breaking bread with them, buying my copies of my book. Niggas that people wouldn't even look at twice. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, they fucking with me. And I'm fucking with them. This was a thought in February 2017. This was an idea talking about an intro to breaking soul ties and wound cleansing. And when you set out to do an idea, I promise you, I think Spirit almost waits, you know, to drop it on you. And I thought I was going to put it out March 15th. Y'all remember that? I really thought my release date was going to be March 15th. But, you know, everybody saw that. But I ended up releasing it in August. And Marcus Garvey's birthday, I missed that. And then I think I ended up releasing it August the 26th or something like that, guys. But it's like, I just thank everybody for being patient with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I see is black folks just breaking bread and just showing support. Money is energy. Money's energy. Every time you swipe your debit card, you send me energy. So much energy, and I just appreciate y'all so much. Like, you have no idea. Like, I would have seen this. I literally got close to killing myself. I swallowed a bunch of pills in DC, and they had to pump my stomach at Howard University Hospital. And I just remember being so embarrassed. I thought people were gonna laugh at me that I had broke up with this high-profile Fox News reporter. And I just felt ashamed and just about everything. And it's like, I remember just never thinking I would figure it out. I'm sorry, I ain't even finna just like sit here and cry in y'all face like this, but people are really great. People are so much greater than, I mean, we give them credit for. So anyway, thank you guys, and for those of you that want a copy of my book, let me know and we'll make sure you get one. So thank you so much, and just jump, Because the solutions come in people. The spirit comes to people. They always show up for you. If you just think that, expect good, and people always show that to you. People are so full of good, and you have to put yourself out there to give them the opportunity. So I love you guys. Talk to you later.